Pleiadian Temples of Earth. Rebuilding the Civilization of Light. Pleiadian Light Forces transmission July 6, 2021. Channeled by Michael Love. A special message to the starseeds of New Earth, for immediate planetary broadcast. The Pleiadians often tell stories designed to bring you to higher levels of consciousness. It's not so much about the story but about how it's encoded to trigger your memories. There are a lot of DNA triggers encoded in this data stream, so go back and listen to this message a second time if need be, to fully integrate this information into your DNA. When you listen the second time, pause and take notes as you go to help this 5D light data to flow deeper into your cells. Share this Pleiadian message with others to trigger their DNA as well. The data in this transmission is derived from direct Pleiadian channeling, from NDEs, from professional quantum hypnosis sessions, and certain prehistorical data that comes from the Lemurian scrolls, passed down and guarded closely by the Great White Brotherhood. Tonight we tell you the grand story of your magnificent ancient Pleiadian crystal temples, the remnants of which still exist on Earth today. There is the story, then there is the whole story. This whole story has to do with amazing things that occurred on planet Earth in the distant past that have long been forgotten by modern humanity. We are here to reawaken your ancient memories and reacquaint you with who and what you truly are. Stand by for super amazingness. Begin transmission. Great One. Ancient mystery school knowledge, guarded down through the ages by the Lemurian Brotherhood, tells the magnificent story of the beginnings of life on planet Earth. The ancient scrolls say that, in the beginning, the Pleiadians came down from fifth-dimensional star systems and were the very first humanoid beings to settle on planet Earth. The Pleiadians are the direct descendants of the Grand Lyran humanoid civilization of the 12th dimension and are known as the pre-Adamites of Earth's prehistory, who formed the shining races of Lemuria and Atlantis. When the Pleiadians first came to Earth, they terraformed this entire realm into a celestial paradise filled with all types of exotic DNA and advanced natural systems that form Earth's spheres. The Pleiadians infused all of this life and the Earth spheres with intelligent information called the Akash, which contains all the data of this universe. These master divine architects had created a magnificent celestial and living library on Earth, which became the most unique attraction in the universe. Incredible beauty and wonder was built into the Earth system by the Pleiadians using advanced, fifth-dimensional blueprints from their home world, and everything was built here according to their divine plan for the magnificence of this world. The Pleiadians are those who from heaven to earth came down, and another label that is more common for their fifth-dimensional home world is simply heaven. In this heavenly, 5D realm, everything is 1,000 times more beautiful, more advanced, and much more perfected. All of this natural heavenly beauty and technology was transported to Earth in those ancient days by the Pleiadians and was fully established here. It was truly a sight to behold. Do you remember, Great One? The Pleiadian cities of light and crystal temples. Of all the amazing beauty and technology brought to Earth and recreated here by the Pleiadians, incredible 5D cities of light were constructed all across planet Earth. These fifth-dimensional cities of light were filled with stunning and sublime crystal temples that stood out as the grand pinnacles of ancient earthly civilization. The mesmerizing and massive cities of this Pleiadian heaven on Earth featured amazing 5D architecture and were laid out in special cosmic and geometric configurations. The original Pleiadian temples of early Earth were built using a very special type of crystal composed of an exotic form of monatomic silicon dioxide. Some of the crystal blocks used in the construction of these temples were brought here from fifth-dimensional star systems, but most of the crystal used on Earth in those days was seeded here in gigantic beds by the Pleiadians millions of years ago. The walls of these magnificent Pleiadian temples were built from otherworldly, translucent, colored crystal fused with gold, silver, diamond, platinum, quartz, amethyst, and monatomic elements. The Pleiadian temple megaliths of early Earth emitted sublime rainbow auras that were visually stunning and could be seen for miles. The temple walls, ceilings, and floors were translucent pink, violet, aqua, and all the colors of the rainbow. It may be hard to imagine, but some of these ancient temples were as large as a small modern city and were many miles in diameter. These incredible temples were not just beautiful to look at, but they were very high-tech in their construction and purpose and operated as giant energy machines. These ancient crystal temples had many items built in that would today be characterized as modern electrical devices. The original Pleiadian crystal temples of Earth featured ball dome roofs, high arches, towers and columns, and were filled with resonating shafts and corridors that extended throughout the buildings. In addition, these sublime crystal temples featured intricate advanced construction details such as rose quartz windows and muqarnas that generated scalar waves for healing, levitation and transport, besides provoking feelings like harmony and euphoria. We are sure you are aware that the Pleiadians are the creators of all music. All Pleiadian temples, small and large in those ancient days, had pipe organs that resonated strongly in the building corridors to harmonize and heal the population through scalar sound waves, now known as cymatics. Light was refracted and emitted inside the buildings directly from the glowing crystal walls. The Pleiadian crystal palace walls were studded with gold, copper, silver, platinum, bronze, beryl and tin ornaments, constructed in special geometric shapes. These specific minerals were used in the temples because of their high energetic conductivity value. The temple dome roofs were layered with the very high thermal and electrical conductivity of copper and were retrofitted with built-in transmitting and receiving antennas and coils. These original Earth crystal temples contained elaborate roof grids and small window-like openings, metal ornaments in the corners of buildings, pointed antennae with ornaments or balls filled with mercury, precious metals and crystal embedded in walls, jars containing mercury, cornices, spires, roofs with copper and crystal ornaments and structural foundations in granite, beryl and iron, among others. These astounding Pleiadian crystal megaliths were built on Earth ley line intersections, and they powered every aspect of this advanced society on Earth in ancient times. The cities of light on Earth were all located near water sources at strategic points on Earth along canals, rivers, seas, lakes and oceans. All of the individual temples were surrounded by huge water fountains, lush landscape, minarets, bridges and obelisks. Interestingly, the ancient Lemurian White Brotherhood scrolls say, the first humanoid races to settle on Earth built these sophisticated electrical components and devices into their temples primarily for the purpose of creating interdimensional stargates and wormholes that led directly to higher worlds. These dimensional doorways were created using scalar crystal energy, aka tachyon energy. Scalar waves were produced when light bounced off the facets inside the crystal, cancelling out the 3D part of the original light wave. The ancient mystery school knowledge says, these ancient crystal temples were designed to extract electromagnetic energy from the ether and channel it throughout the interconnected cities of light on Earth to produce enormous amounts of power and technology for this advanced, prehistoric Earth race. These massive and beautiful original Pleiadian temples were also used for healing and rejuvenation of the body, mind and soul, as power grids and generators, for transportation and flight, spiritual guidance, and for expanding consciousness. The Pleiadian cities of light on Earth comprised of the crystal temples, each with giant crystals inside, was the planetary grid of those days and worked as one giant Akashic library that stored incredible amounts of knowledge. The scrolls go on to say, all world architecture techniques for electromagnetic energy extraction is derived entirely from the ancient high civilization of the fifth-dimensional Pleiadians, on Earth. The temple construction techniques and the advanced technology built into these ancient buildings has been guarded down through the ages by the Lemurian Brotherhood, and this sacred mystery school knowledge is known as the Grand Celestial Architecture of the Temple Masons. Finally, the Lemurian scrolls say these ancient high-tech crystal temple building techniques were passed down to the later advanced races of Atlantis, Lemuria, and Tartary. The shining Lemurian culture named this colorful translucent crystal, Andara. After the Lemurian culture ascended to a universal level consciousness, they renamed their entire race after this special fifth-dimensional crystal and became known as the Andarians. So what happened to these original Pleiadian cities of light and the grand crystal temples that existed on Earth millions of years ago? During the end of the time of Atlantis, certain nefarious factions annihilated many of the crystal cities and buildings that existed on the surface of the Earth in massive global thermonuclear explosion. These are the wars of the ancient gods on Earth spoken of in ancient Earth writings. Most of the crystal buildings on Earth at that time, as well as the giant crystals inside the temples, were blasted into small pieces, and the majority of the crystal was vaporized literally into sand. We can tell you the deserts of the Earth are no accident. Furthermore, around 12,000 years ago, at the end of the Ice Age and during the Great Deluge in the time of the Anunnaki, new builder races began erecting temples and cities out of granite. Granite was easy to find and it still had many of the same properties as the original crystal. Numerous granite, limestone and basalt megalithic temples still exist on Earth today. The Annas brought new crystals to Earth from Nibiru and placed these magical stones inside these grand stone megaliths and spaceports, though due to their own royal infighting nearly all of these mystical temple grail stones were also destroyed. Furthermore, when Nibiru passed Closby in those days and when the Great Storm came, the water of Earth rose miles into the sky and flooded the entire planet. Almost everything left standing on the planet was buried under 6 miles of mud and sediment. If you could dig down 6 miles into the crust of Earth, you would find everything right where it was 12,000 years ago. Did anything from the original crystal temples survive these cataclysms? We say, as above so below, and what was above is now below. Below in the sense that you can still get to it easy enough. We tell you, much of this ancient mesmerizing crystal is still here on Earth now. The cities of light and the crystal temples are submerged now as gigantic crystal caverns and caves all across planet Earth, but they are still emitting the original energy of the grand Pleiadian temples. The remnants of the ancient Pleiadian cities of light on Earth still exist today as the magnificent crystal shelves or crystal caverns in Central Oregon, the Arkansas Crystal Beds, Sequoia National Park, California, Mount Shasta and the Sierra Nevada Mountains of Northern California, the Florida Coastal Sands, Bimini Islands, British Columbia, Canada, Ontario, Canada, Nica, Central Mexico, Minas Gerais, Brazil, Namibia, Africa, Grimsel, Switzerland, Belize, Giza, Egypt, Lake Titicaca, Bolivia, Siberia, Russia, Scotland, Sri Lanka, Shen, China, and Uluru, Australia. These huge geologic shelves that stretch across the Earth hold absolutely gigantic and sublime crystals such as magnetic quartz, selenite, fluorite and exotic forms of monatomic silicon dioxide crystal fused with gold, diamond, silver and platinum. According to the Lemurian scrolls, most of these planetary crystal caverns still have active Pleiadian stargates that lead directly into parallel universes. In 1995, a major mineral deposit was discovered in the Sierra Nevada mountains due to a strong earthquake that caused part of a mountain to slide away, exposing tons of glass-like crystals. These crystal pieces were tested by carbon dating and found to be millions of years old by both US and Russian scientists and academia members. What's more, this strange crystal material was found to contain high levels of monatomic elements of gold, silver, iridium, rhodium, chromium, platinum, and other monatomic minerals. David Hudson, who rediscovered monatomic gold and who also studied these ancient crystals intensely for years, was quoted saying, "This crystal material is unlike anything else found on Earth and is in fact an ancient and exotic form of monatomic silicon dioxide. They are beautiful, rare and in many cases more valuable than diamonds and gold. Because of the way Andaras refract light, they emit a very high vibrational energy wave. This is the scalar and tachyon energy we speak of. Scalar/tachyon energy is a living energy that all ancient advanced races used to power their civilizations and to heal their mind, bodies and soul. The later Lemuria culture of Earth used scalar crystal technology to fully activate their light bodies and completely ascend to the 5th dimension. These advanced beings also knew that these special crystals are powerful amplifiers of etheric energy, which means they greatly boost one's natural manifestation ability and power. Part of our personal mission to Earth involves reacquainting Earth's starseeds with lost ancient crystal technology. We personally work with Andara crystals and we have been on a long journey following the energy of these crystals back to our ancient crystal temples and the original cities of light on Earth. For several years we have been close to hundreds of these stones every day, and we have witnessed energetic events that seem like miracles or magic. We truly testify to their mystical power, and anyone who has ever worked intimately with monatomic crystal will tell you there is something metaphysical going on with them. Andaras are 5th dimensional, living crystals that are only attracted to beings who are ready for them. Andara is a powerful crystal amplifier that greatly boosts the energy around it, so it is critical that a being is in a high vibration when close to these grail stones. All crystals are beautiful, powerful and sacred. However, holding pieces of natural Andara brings the knowing that one is holding something rare and connected to our original ancient celestial temples of light that once stood on Earth. The crystals are guiding us personally back to our ancient home, and to hold a piece of crystal that contains the energy of our shining civilization is quite amazing. Humanity has all but forgotten the original magnificent temples of Earth, our shining civilization, the crystals and their power. The Pleiadians, however, have not forgotten, and we all have vivid memories of our ancient past. You know well that the desire grows stronger each day to return to our home. We were all there in those ancient days, and we have incarnated again in this time for the purpose of remembering and rebuilding our magnificent civilization of light. You see, Great One, the crystals are still here in the crystal caverns of Earth. All the knowledge of what was, is stored in this crystal. We are still here, and we are putting all the pieces back together. In this linear time on Earth, we have the notion of moving forward into the future in our ascension, but as we vibrate higher, we are not really moving into the future, more like we are moving towards out past, if you will. The new Earth is in fact the old Earth, the very ancient one. This is where we are going, even now, dear one. With every new awareness of what was, we move closer to 5D Earth, and in our hearts and lives we are indeed rebuilding our spectacular cities of light on Earth. This is the good work we are doing together in this world, and it is all leading us back to our celestial home. Thank you for all you are doing and for coming to Earth at this time to assist. Feel free to share any of your ancient memories with us. Godspeed, Michael and the Pleiadians. Special credit and acknowledgement to the Earth Alliance, the Great White Brotherhood and the White Dragon Society. We give great honor to the 4.5 billion starseeds stationed on planet Earth, who are the bringers of the dawn and the family of light. A recommended source for authentic Andara monatomic crystal. www.andarenterprise.com